Hey, what's up, guys? This is Team Hard Life Captain Alberto Zertuche, and I've got an Avid 50 EXW 2-speed here. Now, I've heard the strangest story today, and the story is the customer bought the reel, and he had to go to another, buy it online because the tackle shop that he went to didn't have the red. So he went, and that's what he wanted, was red, I mean, you can't really argue with the customer in wanting a certain color, especially if there's availability somewhere else. So he went and bought it, and he also got the hollow core braid because that's what he wanted to use. And this shop tells him, don't bring hollow core to him because they hate working with it. I'm like, why do they hate working with hollow core braid? I mean, that's like the best, it's the best thing out there, So he's telling me his story, and I'm just completely blown away of the customer service that he got there. I mean, like, how do you be mad that they're bringing you business? And yeah, it may not be everything, but still, he's trying to bring you business, and you're upset about it. So he saw the way this guy spooled it up, and he gave him specific directions of how he wanted it done on there, and he didn't get it. And it got to the point that he really didn't want to argue with the guy because it was kind of null and void kind of deal. So he brought it to me, and this is what he wants me to do.
Gotta bite. I think I got a lot of stress on my mind. It's a nice day to go. Yeah, I gotta line. I'ma call the whole team.
Wants me to correct the knot to the spool because he knows they put tape on there. And then two, we're also going to show how their spooling was done on the reel, which gapped it out big time. And we're going to basically correct all the things that should have been done the first time if that guy had good customer service. So, alright guys, so this is what this video is about, is correcting some major issues with the reel, and we're gonna find out. We'll see how bad it is. I mean, it is one thing to not tell them to do anything, and when they just kind of ignore you on that too. Also too, the customer actually saw that right here on this edge of this Avid, there's a real sharp edge or a burr. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some Scotch-Brite here in a little bit and smooth that out, but I'm also going to flip it over. But we're definitely going to get with Avid so they can send him a new guide bar right there, because that's dangerous, but also too, he shouldn't have had to deal with that issue, especially straight from the manufacturer. So yeah, that's pretty dangerous. And yeah, let's see. Alright, so one of the things to be able to add the braid on there at the correct amount is, one thing, I've got to download the reel onto a spool, so that way I can put the line off there, but I also will have to invert it, so that way I can put the mono on the bottom to where I can add the braid on top. That's the only way I can rightfully guess exactly how much braid he's going to need for this, and then also too to get an exact line count of what he has on there. He wanted a good amount of top shot. The guy put on like 75 yards and then cut it without even asking the customer anything about it. So I don't know. That's some horrible customer service right there. So what we're gonna do, well, I'll finish that here in a bit, but let's check his knot. Well, he did a hollow core splice on it. Half bad right there. Man, look at that. Just all piled up on the sides. It makes it look like he was rocking it back and forth real fast, like what do you say, like a solid braid. That's a lot of, yeah, that's got an idea. Make it a little easier on me as well. So this guy rocked that line back and forth like crazy. Not a very good job of spooling. Yes, sir. I definitely had to put it up on the holder because you can see how fast this was rocking back and forth. This guy just did not try any effort at all to spool this gentleman up correctly. And then wanted to charge him. Crazy. Yeah.
Real spool up. He said, dude, that don't look right. That ain't right. They tried to charge me $80. He said, you can have 40.
Wow. That's not cool. Jesus. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. That's horrible.
I know. Like I said, I complained about the spray a very long while.
Jeez.
I've had this reel for a month. I was too scared to put it in water. I mean, you know, you spend a lot of money on this braid and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. Look how gapped out it is. Straight to the spool. Actually, they can't even see it, but let me show you this, guys. Yeah. That's a straight up X pattern right there, and that's what you do not do. Wow. Wow. That's, wow.
Are they catching any decent baits on jetties?
Yeah, they are.
You know what they're catching them on?
Lures.
Lures?
Yeah, specific lures, I don't know. I haven't been out there.
I've never fished the jetties ever a day in my life, and I'm kind of going, yeah, he just kind of doubled it up on there a couple times.
He did a half hitch.
Yeah.
And then he tied up his tail end right here, so that way it recloses on itself. I don't really. Wow.
I said, you can cut it, it's fine.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely cutting it. I'm definitely cutting.
I know you're like one of the people that try to get the knots out of it. You can go ahead and cut it. That ain't no big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was bad.
Dude, I would keep that as a souvenir. I mean, that's freaking insane.
I told my grandma, I was like, no, it's kind of bad, you know. I've never had a real spool other than by you, and I can tell you from the get-go that from the time he started, he was not doing it right, and it was scaring me.
Golly. Alright guys, so what we're also going to do too is I want to get him, well obviously we want to increase his line capacity. So what we're going to do is I'm going to flip his braid from one spool, and let me show you what I'm doing. I'm going to flip his original braid onto another spool, so that way I can put the mono back on here, spool it back up just to see how much braid we can actually add on. That way we can give him more line capacity, because right now he's barely sitting at 975 yards basically. Wow. That, yeah.
I just watched that video you posted the other day, the exact same reel with that 100 to 80.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no, I definitely should have had a little bit more then.
Yeah, big time more. Big time more.
Not too terribly much, but you know, for me, that was not too much more, but...
Oh, you should be able to be sitting at 1,400 yards of braid easy. So, alright. so we've reached where we can now add on more braid for him. Alright, so we're at 488 right now, or 988, sorry. We're going to see how much line we can get on there for sure. Alright, so I'm at 1,300 yards, and I want to show the customer this because this is one of his first bigger size reels, and I want to make sure he has enough gap just in case he expands a little bit. So
yeah, I was about to say I'm still learning that, so
yeah.
I don't feel too much.
Yeah, no, that's why I stopped right
yes,
pretty much a little bit less than the edge of the spool and stuff, so it gives you about a 1/4 inch exposure.
Yes,
so if you ball up a little bit, you'll still be good to
Yes,
go.
sir, that's perfect.
Awesome. All right, so now let's cut this, and I gotta invert it, and then back onto the reel.
Sorry.
right there is the splice, and it shows how much braid I already added on. Now we're gonna get to what you already had on there. So, yep.
And my mom.
Again, too. That's really going to help him in the long run. But yeah, there we go. We got about another 1/8 of an inch of full exposure besides everything on the spool. So now it really looks good.
Let's say that's what was on it. That's exactly how that looked. How the other shot did.
Right. Of what it looked like before, but yeah, that's.
I don't have a up close picture of what it looked like before. It looked identical to that.
Just bowed up in the middle. Yep.
It looked identical to that with the 977 yards that the other one would have been on.
Yeah, and we got 1,300. Very nice.